Chapter 3, Schedule C and Expenses. Okay, let's talk about expenses. Here are the items that are hot buttons with the IRS, and these points are audit flags on an IRS Schedule C. Auto expenses and your deductions for your home office. You have two choices for your auto expenses. You can take the standard mileage or you can take the actual cost to operate your car plus the depreciation expense. Generally, you will always be better off taking the standard mileage rate unless you have an unusually high repair bills such as replacing a transmission or rebuilding an engine. The biggest problem with auto is taking the mileage deductions because people do not keep accurate records. So if you elect to take the standard mileage rate, you should keep a log on your mileage. If you do not have a log and need one, at the end of this video, we will share a link where you can download a log for free. So if you didn't keep a log throughout the year on your mileage, now is a good time to reflect on how many miles you drove to perform your job. If you have a job that you go to consistently, the best way is to Google the distance from your home to your job. Print out the distance and keep this with your tax records. Also, you should have a logbook to start making entries for every day that you drive to your workplace. Remember, don't just guess and say I drove 10,000 miles. That will stick out like a sore thumb. Make an effort to get as close as possible to the correct number. Now also, when you're calculating your mileage for your business, remember, some businesses will have high mileage such as traveling technician versus someone who owns a daycare. Once again, your SIC number lets the IRS know how much mileage one should have in a particular business. So make sure your mileage makes sense for your particular business. The other hot button is home office deductions. This drives the IRS crazy, and they have spent a considerable amount of time in tax court on what is a home office. A home office is a room in your home that you use exclusively for business. However, there's so many exceptions that they are too long to list in this video. Generally, if you can do without these expenses on your Schedule C, you will be better off. The only exception that I would use for a home office deduction is if you are running a daycare out of your home. Yet this is a common business practice and would not raise a red flag with the IRS. For a more detailed explanation on what qualifies as a home office and how to calculate that expense, you can go to 1040return.com and it will take you to a more detailed discussion on home office deductions. Another reason so many IRS Schedule Cs are audited is because of Earned Income Credit, or EIC. The EIC is a refundable credit for people who have children, which means that the government gives you money for working and supporting your children. The IRS estimates that the fraud rate for EIC is between 25 to 30%. So if you have a Schedule C and you are claiming the EIC, you are increasing your chances for an audit. The most likely outcome in this case is that the IRS will deny you the EIC and force you to prove the support of the dependents listed on your tax return. Should this happen, you are required to submit documents showing you provide support for your dependents. Another area that you have to watch out for is meals and entertainment. You can write off your meals while you are conducting business. You can also write off your expenses for taking clients out for meals and entertainment. You do have to talk about business and you do have to keep a log of the event. If you do not have a meals and entertainment log, you can download one for free with the link we'll share with you at the end of this video. You have to realize that the IRS has a reasonable idea on how much an individual should be writing off on their meals and entertainment. So do not use this to write off your family vacation. Here are the top 10 items that you are not allowed to write off on meals and entertainment. Number 1, club dues and memberships, including initiation fees. 2, country club dues. 3, golf and athletic club dues. 4, airline club dues. 5, hotel club dues. 6, you cannot deduct the rent from entertainment facilities such as a rent for a vacation home, swimming pool, tennis club, bowling alley, hunting lodge, etc. 7, skyboxes and other private luxury boxes. You can only write off what it would cost you to purchase a non-luxury box, and then you can only take 50% of that as a deduction. 8, you generally cannot deduct the cost of your entertainment for your spouse or the spouse of a customer. However, you can deduct these costs if you can show you had a clear business purpose rather than a personal or social purpose for providing the entertainment. 9, taking turns paying for meals or entertainment. If a group of business acquaintances take turns picking up each other's meals or entertainment checks primarily for personal reasons without regard to whether any business purposes are served, no member of the group can deduct any part of the expense. 10. Business is generally not considered to be the main purpose when business and entertainment are combined on hunting or fishing trips or on yachts or other pleasure boats. Even if you show that business was the main purpose, you generally cannot deduct the expenses for the use of an entertainment facility. Lastly, the Affordable Health Care Act may impact your Schedule C, so be sure to write off your insurance premiums on your Schedule C. This is a valid deduction on your Schedule C. In summary, if you do not keep accurate records, you should make a reasonable estimate of your expenses and revenue to stay underneath the IRS radar. Remember, if your IRS Schedule C is audited, you will lose every deduction that you are claiming if you do not have proof for that deduction. You can go to 1040return.com to receive a list of SIC codes and expected net profit from that industry. So, if you do not keep accurate records of your expenses and revenue, at least you will have a guide on what the IRS expects you to report on your tax return. You can also receive a free logbook for auto expenses plus a free logbook for meals and entertainment at the link below. The best software to use when you are doing your tax return with the Schedule C is www.1040return.com. This program is designed to ask you questions so you do not miss a deduction, and 1040return.com helps prevent you from being audited by the IRS. If you're ready to start completing your IRS Schedule C, go to www.1040return.com and try it for free.